I don't know what happened on the other one. I'm going to try to go in and damn. I couldn't delete it just now. I don't know what the hell was wrong with it. Just stupid. Really stupid. Really, really stupid. God. I feel like a dumbass. Okay, now we're going to try it again. We're going to try it again. We're going to try it again. Let me see if I'm able to go. I'm going to switch accounts here. And I'm going to try to go into my chat. I'm going to do something funny. I'm going to try to do anyway. So, I'm going to do that. Go like that. And there I am. Well, hi there, Gray Cloud. You Gray Cloud Stalks.
Well, hi there, Gray Cloud. You Gray Cloud Stalks.
I'm having fun. Okay. Actually, what I need to do is just this. So now, anyway, I'm watching myself from the other phone. Well, we got Gray Cloud's thoughts on here. Greycloudyday. Feeling like shit. Feeling like shit. Oh, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? What you gonna do? What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Let's see. Well, how do I hit the like button here, buddy? I need to be able to hit the like button. I ain't understanding that. Oh, okay. There's a few other people. Anyway, welcome. I was playing around. Well, one of the other people is me, because since I have like Gray Cloud's thoughts, I didn't, this week this channel, I subscribed to my second channel. My second channel subscribed to this channel. And before you got whoever showed up here, I decided to take the phone that's the hotspot, my main phone, that won't let me live stream just straight off of my data unless I have a, and I came into my own chat. That's why I said, hey, Gray Cloud Stalks, what are you doing, man? I ain't seen you in a while. I'm trying to be cheerful. I don't know who's here, who the other person is. There was two of you here other than me. Maybe I should back out of my own. Let's see. I don't know how I do this, but let's do. Hey, okay. Hey, Victoria, did you see in the comments that I asked about your granddaughter? So I'm assuming everything was all right. And then Nature Girl asked about if I knew anything. Like yesterday, she asked me. I didn't do a live or nothing yesterday. I went out into town and I had a good experience. Met a lady that I met a few weeks ago, and then she helped me. Like she drove me around a little bit. So anyway, if you've seen the video, you'll know I talked about it, I think, this morning. But I'm glad to see you. And I was just letting you know that somebody did ask about you. And they were asking me if I knew what was going on. Okay, she's still sick. Well, I just meant like because you were saying they were taking her to the ER the other day, I was making sure from the other day that nothing has gotten worse. You get what I'm saying? Okay, so when you get off of here, like if you're homeschooling and everything, when you're anybody else that shows up here I'm going to be on here for a little while. Okay, still same. I mean, it sucks getting sick. I don't know how old she is. I just hate being like, I don't get sick that often, knock on wood, or thank the Lord. But when I do get sick, especially at this age, the older I get, when I do get a sickness, it's not any fun. So anybody else is in the chat, because there's 3 people showing. One of those people is myself from Greycloudy's Thoughts. But whoever else is here, if you'll pray for Victoria's granddaughter, she asked. She could still use prayers. She's they had to take her to the ER the other day, and she asked about it. Okay, she's 3. I just was curious, trying to get trying to get context of, kind of get a just a visual picture of where we're at. Because it could be, if you're talking about like a more newborn baby, it'd be even more concerning. You know what I'm saying? Or I don't know. I think anybody that's got a kid, I don't have children, but I imagine anybody that's got children or grandchildren, anytime they're sick or not feeling good, that's got to be a horrible feeling, So thanks for hitting the like button. I'm thinking, see, that was me just doing myself there. And then, I'm not sure how I hit the like button on this. I don't know. But, I'm going to share this real quick while you're here. Okay. All my family pretty much has been sick for weeks now. It's traveling from person to person. It stinks. Yeah, that is the worst too. Like when you're, at least when I get sick, well, most of the time if I've gotten sick, I know kind of where I've probably got it. It's usually from the neighbors, and they ain't doing nothing wrong. You know what I mean? But I have to go over there. I do get water from over there, and sometimes, Colton will get sick, and then he'll pass it on to Betty, and then like in the process of, going over there every day, they'll be like, well, so-and-so sick. Oh, I'm getting sick. And then the next time, usually once I'm being told that, I'm aware, I could possibly get sick myself. It doesn't always happen. You just have, but when, when you're dealing with people that you're around a lot, somebody gets sick, it's going to be natural that it's probably going to pass on, I was sharing this to a social media real quick, to my X platform. I'm on, formerly Twitter. And anybody that's in here, if you didn't know, it says Great Cloud Thoughts right there. That's my second channel. So if you haven't went over there and checked that out, you can do that. I didn't really do any video today on, I didn't really put a video up over there today about any thoughts. I decided to upload a small short, where I videotaped the sun yesterday. My grandson had pneumonia 2 weeks ago. Okay. I've never had pneumonia. Now Betty and them's had it. Barbara, which is Betty's brother's old lady. Hey, Nature Girl. Victoria's here. Nature Girl, keep Victoria's granddaughter still in prayer. They're all still sick, dealing with it. You can see in the chat yourself probably here. But I told Victoria, anybody that, because she might not be on here. Well, she said she's homeschooling today. So she may be in and out, or, it's good to see you in the chat. I've just been going stir crazy. I was having fun just before anybody jumped on, because I was telling Victoria and whoever else is here, one of the people that's on here is myself. Great. If you'll look in the chat, you'll see Grey Cloud's Thoughts. And I thought it was funny, I was like, hey, Grey Cloud's Thoughts. It's good to see you, man. But I didn't realize I was that chipper. I haven't been down. Hey, Nature Girl, I'm on a homeschooling break between subjects, just saying hi, okay? Okay, yeah, you can better explain it, Victoria. But Nature Girl, I was telling her that you had asked about, you'd asked about that yesterday. I'm going to hit the bucket for a second. I was just doing that, and I was kind of chanting there for a second. So, I don't know. I just kind of was like, almost like an Indian, Now, of course, I'm not actually speaking any Native American there. I like to just sometimes, especially, under certain circumstances, depending on my state of mind, there's been plenty of times I've been in almost a trance-like state and just kind of like just vocalizing, no words are coming out, but there's syllables and sounds coming out, to whatever beat or whatever I'm humming, and just kind of going back to the basics and getting tribal or primitive, But, hey, thanks everybody. I'm seeing that, I guess I must have hit the like button. I don't know. I don't think I did. Oh, there we go. Yeah, now I got the like button on there. See, that was the 6 minute. That's cool. So everybody else that's in the chat has already hit the like button. I didn't even have to say anything. Y'all are cool, man. I really appreciate it. So we got Nature Girl. Victoria's here on like a little bit of a break. She homeschools. Aren't you homeschooling? You're homeschooling your grandkids, ain't you? Or somebody, I believe one of your grandkids or something. And I told Teresa I might be going live, so she could possibly see this and come in. I didn't send her a link. I could probably send her a link if she wants to. I think she might be having a... Oh, hey. Hey, okay. Let me update my... Why is this not coming in here? Something's going on here where I'm not on the feed. Let me give me a second here. I just backed out. It's weird on my other phone. While I was in the chat from Grey Cloud's Thoughts, I could see all of y'all's other comments here right now. For some reason, all of a sudden, it's not there. Oh, that's kind of crazy. I don't know if I just messed up by being... How do I refresh this? Somebody told me one time. Sometimes you have to refresh the chat, and I thought that was just by moving it. Hold on a minute. I'm going to go back in because since I don't understand why I'm not seeing any more comments on the main. This is where I'm live streaming on this device right here. But you can see right here, let's go back in there. See, I see that I can't remember how to pronounce it, but Titanji, I think I might be. Tell me if I'm saying that right. So I guess I'm going to have to read y'all's chats with this phone. So next time I probably won't do this. Or if I do this next time where I go in from my other channel to my own chat, I should just go in there and before anybody shows up, because this is weird. Definitely weird. This is really kind of bothering me. Y'all stay, well, I don't know if you'll be there. Stay right there. I'm going to try something. I'm going to do this. Hold on. Let me try this. Okay, that helped it. Now I'm seeing the what's going on, Greycloud. See, now I'm seeing it on the actual device that I'm streaming from. And what I did is I just went in and shared it to the community, and so it looked like I might have unconnected for a few seconds, and then when I reconnected. So, well, what's up, Nature Girl? You know that I've been anxious today. I've been bored, and I did go for a nice little walk. Right before I decided to just come back to the trailer and do the stream, I went out to the stop sign, was holding my sign. Hey, Ed. Okay, there's Ed. Yeah, like somehow I fixed it. I don't know. It's weird. Ed had commented earlier I had posted that I may go live, and he said thank you. And then I explained, depending on how I feel, what transpires through the day. Anybody kind of knows that. And Ed, I'm glad everybody's saying hi and introducing yourselves. Okay. Angie. Like, okay, Angie. Angie. Or Ange. That's two J's at the end. Okay. I'm just trying to catch up with like Ed. Right before you came in, I would. Everybody else knows I'm actually in my own chat from my second channel because I do have a second channel. We only have like 13 subscribers over there, and it's very early on. So, Nature Girl, you don't see Ed? Huh. That's weird. Victoria just said, hey, Ed, and Ed just said hello to Victoria. I hope y'all, if I'm ever boring you when I'm on the live and you got something you want to talk about, bring it up. If you got a question or there's a subject you want to know what I think about. See if we got this, if we can get this working or not. Nature Girl, you let me know if. Yeah, there might be a glitch going on because that's what I was saying. I totally couldn't see any of y'all's chats there for a second. And then when I tried to come, whatever, I came. Okay. You have a blessed day too, Victoria. And we'll keep your granddaughter in prayers. That I don't know if Ed saw that, but And they've all her and her family, they've all been sick, like her and her sons and daughters and her grandchildren, and she was saying that everybody, like somebody, how it starts. You got one person get sick, then whoever's taking care of that person probably gets sick, and then if you're around a bunch of other people that you're close to, they're more than likely going to get sick, and a lot of times it happens so quickly. Like by the time a couple people know they're sick, they've been carrying the whatever, and it's done been passed on, and it's like a late, it's one of them weird. No, I don't think it's COVID. She didn't say it was. Now, of course, I don't know. And her grandson had pneumonia a couple of weeks ago, she said. So we just want to keep everybody in our thoughts and prayers. That's what I want to, I'm not going to tell anybody what to do, but if you're in this community and if you've been following me a little while, then you'll kind of know where I stand with those type of things. That I do believe in a creator, and I have my own personal relations, and it's stuff that sometimes you can't put in words, But it's good to see you, Ed. I'm really glad you showed up because I wondered. And Ange, Ange, I haven't seen you in a while. Of course, I haven't been going live as much. Now, this week, I've pretty much went live almost not this past week. I've done several lives. There was several days in a row. One day I did 2 lives. Nature Girl can tell you that I'd done a live earlier in the day, and Victoria and Nature Girl were in it trying to chat to me, and I couldn't, that day I couldn't see the chat. But later, when they came in the comments later and told me about it, I started up another live later. You got to keep alcohol around. Oh, yeah, like rubbing alcohol or some kind of sand. Yeah, just... Hey, Frank McCampbell. We kick butt every day, yeah. Frank's been watching the channel for a while, and I think there's only been 1 or 2 times that when he comments on a video that it hasn't been that exact comment. He almost always says we kick butt every day, but there's been 1 or 2 times there was a different comment. Now, of course, he actually did say, I think we kick butt still in the comment, but there was something added or whatever. But Frank, it is cool to see you. I don't believe Frank's ever been in the chat when I did go live. Now, Ed, I'm just kind of like trying to catch up here. Thank you, Nature Girl, Cohen. Thank you, brother. I'm making sure I'm keeping up with you guys. And I hope everybody's doing all right. It's cheering me up, man. Like I'm just tired of feeling like anxious. And I said like I toyed with for your hands, doorknobs, toilets, etc. Yeah, I understand all that. Like, well, I mean, I'm sure they do too, but me personally, I don't really ever I occasionally get sick, and then I was talking about this. Usually, since where I live, most of the time, if I've gotten sick, it's probably I'm pretty sure usually about where I probably picked it up, and it's usually from the neighbors. The only people that I come in contact with on a daily basis, pretty regular. And sometimes they don't know they're sick, and then the next thing you know, they're telling you they're feeling sick. Well, anybody could be carrying it, and then it takes a few days. But then by the time you know you're sick, you could have passed it on to everybody anyway. What's wrong here? What's that emoji? Is that a downer kind of face, Nature Girl? It's kind of like, you guys rock, though. What I was saying is, maybe you're doing the downer face because of I was talking about being anxious or whatever. Oh, it's a smile. See, when I'm looking at it on the phone here, it's so little tiny, like I can't necessarily. I see an emoji. It depends. Like if it was a thumbs up, I definitely know what it is. But when it comes to the little yellow faces, sometimes I don't. I'm having trouble knowing if it's okay. A smile for Ed. That's cool. Yeah, like I love listening. Like I used to just listening to. Like I would pull up something on YouTube or sometimes on Spotify. You know, like pull up a just some random Native American like tribal ceremonial type singing and drumming. Sometimes you'll find those video. They're not a video, but they'll be like a couple of hours long of just different like one thing going into the other. And I love like listening to that kind of. It just depends on what mood I'm in. You know what I mean? Like I ain't really listening to nothing today except in my headphones earlier when I went walking. And I was listening to bluegrass gospel then. For a couple of days now, if I've been listening to my headphones, all I've had on is bluegrass gospel. Then prior to that, all I was listening to was a lot of heavy stuff. You know, I'm a metalhead from way back, a punk rocker. But as I got older, I just got it. I just expanded as a human being. I remember, I was a late bloomer getting into the whole, like Grateful Dead stuff and everything. Like I don't know a lot of their, but I'm friends with there's plenty of my friends that are members of the Rainbow family. And I'm not talking about, the LGBT or whatever Rainbow. I'm talking about the Rainbow tribe, the coming together of all races and creeds, sexualities, all people under one, trying to come together in unity. If you don't know about it, it's like a hippie thing, Ed, you might know what I'm talking about. Just be. It's a frame of the mind. Me too. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But hold on. Y'all just give me a second. I'm just kind of I didn't know I was going to get in such a good, I wasn't in a bad place. I just was anxious and I was like, if I'd had, if I'd had enough in my pocket, I would have took off walking to town again, but I didn't. And I'm kind of waiting to see tomorrow if I get paid. My bank, my disability comes a few days earlier than it's supposed to usually because the card I use, I used to listen to the heavy stuff, but I can't anymore. I'm picky about what I listen to. Frequency matters. I love so many types of music, though. Okay, yeah, I know what you're saying, Nature Girl. I've just, I think a lot of people are this way. Like, a lot of people, as they've get older, like, I'm open to a lot of music. I listen to everything. I go through so many different phases. There's times that I'm listening to certain types of hip hop every day. You know what I mean? Now, when it comes any type of music that I'm really into, any genre, I'm going to be the most into anything that actually has some kind of meaning. Like if it's got words and stuff like that they're actually trying to give you a message that's worthy of listening to. I'm not much into, music that's like telling some fictional stuff or talking about a bunch of negativity crap anymore. You know what I mean? So when I'm drawn a lot of times to music I grew up on, and that just happens to be, a lot of the heavier stuff. Well, for me, the type of heavy stuff I really am into is a slower, I like stuff that's got dynamics, but it's slower, not like that fat. I was into that, but I'm talking about anything that's a lot of the stuff I'm into, they call it, kind of like a stoner. It's got it's got a vibe to it, dun, 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 dun. You can bob your head to it. sometimes the vocals may be a little off and you can't understand what they're saying. And sometimes you might have a vocalist that's an actual singer. But I keep my Spotify on a DJ thing. So it's randomly just picking different music that I've liked over the past year or two, you know, like it'll just rotate through all the different stuff I like. I just noticed rap. Yeah, like well, it's kind of like, and then there's certain country I like. Now, as far as I don't like any mainstream newer country, but when I, you know, there are country, like old country I like, but you know, it's like some people sometimes ask me like, what's your favorite type or what's your favorite? I don't have any favorites anymore. It's like, there's a few handful of things that I could say are favorites that are probably more listened to on a rotation than others, but it all is dependent on mood. You know what I mean? I generally, like when I had a computer and everything, I would make playlists, and because I had such a catalog downloaded, anywhere from bluegrass to blues to heavy to thrash, like. And then when you get to heavy, there's all different genres. Then you got classic rock, regular rock, pop, rap, all that. Folk music. I love folk music. Yeah, I hadn't used Pandora in years. I did use it at one point, but I've been, like, most of the time I keep a premium account for my Spotify, so I don't ever get any commercials and stuff because it aggravates me. Ain't nothing like when you're like listening and everything, you got like 3 or 4 songs in a row, and then all of a sudden, boom. But you know, hey, on certain times, if the subscription falls out and I don't renew it before I go broke, then it doesn't matter. I still can listen to music. I'm really enjoying this. I'm enjoying reading y'all's. I'm getting a kick of seeing that you are communicating with each other as well. So I'm wondering who's still here. There's 5 people, but one of those is one of them's me. So that means there's technically 4 people really watching. And 2 of it, okay, anyway. Let's not keep up with the technicalities, Grey Cloud. Why don't you beat a little bucket? I almost zoned out there. Oh, I'm actually working up a little bit of I'm getting a little, you know, it was cool this morning. Frank McCampbell. I have listened to some Suicide Boys myself. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know any of that, but there's been different periods of phases. There's certain songs that I do remember that, now the name might turn some people off, but I think they're interesting. Like some of the stuff some of their stuff, you know, as far as, it's just, I think it's cool. Like I guess I'm very eclectic when it comes to, music and you know, pop culture type stuff. When it comes to, like, it's just like I'm into comic books, and I'm kind of like, no, I'm not as eclectic about comic books. I don't like everything. I'm not real picky about that, and I don't buy a lot of them anymore. You know what I mean? It's not like but I'm just eclectic when it comes to music and Like I think it makes for a more like when I was younger and I thought I only liked this one particular type of music and I wasn't going to listen to anything else in my life. I didn't realize how like narrow of a perception, like as I broaden my perspective, life has gotten more enriching. It's the same with like when it comes to books and stuff I read, like I'm enjoying getting back. I go through phases where like I won't read hardly anything, and then now I'm slowly getting back into reading again. Right now I ain't reading anything fictional, but I did start reading this again. Like I had started it, The Master Speaks. It's by Joel S. Goldsmith, a metaphysical kind of Christian / mystic. Anyway. I really like his take on things. He's somebody that predates me, like from the, I believe the 40s and 50s and 60s. But a lot of the like philosophy or different things I've read and studied, a lot of the people are not even around anymore. But because I was born in 73, when I was in my 20s, like seeking all the different, wanting to know as much as I could about certain things, I was discovering a lot of that, like things that it was cool because I got older and made some older hippie friends and stuff, and we would be able to talk about some like Carl Jung, Jung, and different people like that. But I would meet people that knew about what I was talking about because they had grew up during the time that those people were like heavily, influential like in the day of them actually still being alive and putting stuff out. It's interesting, Yeah, I see that you're listening on. Okay, That's Life. Who sings That's Life? I see Ed says something about Frank Sinatra. Is he just spitting out who he likes, or? Now, if I've heard, I hear stuff or stuff comes up in my feed on YouTube. I check out videos. I hear new songs, or sometimes people share stuff with me. They might not be even new songs current, but they may be new to me. And sometimes I don't necessarily remember the titles and stuff. You know what I mean? I would have to hear okay, I see what you're saying. Life's tough and we're. Well, if Frank Sinatra sang it, at some point I imagine I've heard it. Because I can honestly, I can say that I wouldn't, I've never really dabbled into listening to a lot of Frank Sinatra, but over the years, I've met a lot of people that liked him. When I was younger, I remember seeing a lot of the movies, he was in and things like that. And I knew I've heard the different stuff that now that we're talking about it, it interests, maybe that's something that I should consider, you know what I mean? Who knows? I might explore some Frank Sinatra songs this coming week. Just like type him in and like check out a couple of things, and I am older now. I don't know what it was about, but I imagine if it's now I've heard of Sean James. You said Sean James did a nice remake. So if I've heard the song, I might have heard the remake. I don't know. Doobie, Ice Titties featuring Kasky. Now I know who Kasky is, but Frank, I know who Kasky is. Because I remember Kasky was having beef with, who was it a while back? Who the hell was that? Burden and Caskey, wasn't it? Wasn't it Caskey and Burden? They were at one time they were tight, then they fell out, and they were like, yeah. And then I think this past year, if I remember correctly, here recently in the past few months, I remember that supposedly Burden and Caskey have squashed their beef or whatever, you know. I'm trying to keep up with everything, and I'm trying to think about what I do know that people are mentioning. Yeah, you know, I know about Don and Sammy Davis and the Rat Pack. That's where I know from, because I remember like when I was 4 or 5 years old and I'd be at my grandmother's, you know, some of the old Rat Pack movies and stuff she'd loved, and I remember watching some of that stuff. You know what I mean? And probably because I was so young, that might be why it didn't ever like some of the music didn't like. It wasn't as significant to me, but I remember seeing some of the movies of the Rat. You know, all the different, and although that still was predating me, you know, because a lot of that stuff was in the 60s and stuff, or in the 70s. Like any of the stuff that could have been in the 70s, even, I would have still been like so young, I wouldn't have known till like probably in the 80s. I wouldn't have been seeing it, you know. Well, Caskey is Caskey's rap. But I think you can figure that out. If you're following Frank, he's been talking about some hip hop artists is what he's been talking about. And then of course I did say, because I go through phases. When it comes to hip hop and stuff, I'm more into I like a lot of the more positive. I don't know, I couldn't really. And then there's some country hip hop or country rap type stuff I like. But I remember, I know growing up, I always I dug the Black Sheep, and you remember that song? You can deal with this, you can deal with that, you can deal with this, you can do it. I just back on the scene, crispy and clean. Anyway, so how are you doing? How are you doing? I guess everybody's doing pretty good. You're here with me and you're chatting. Y'all are chatting with each other. And I guess I'm not boring you guys. I was just pointing it out to you, Ed, so that you knew what that particular thing. Like, I didn't want you to be surprised. Well, it wouldn't have mattered. You're a grown person. You could have went and checked it out and been like, oh, I'm just saying I know who he's talking about. Like, I'm not necessarily, there's only like a small percentage of some of that stuff that I like. And it's not like I'm more, but it all depends on what I'm feeling, the type of mood I'm in, where I'm at, and I'm pretty easygoing. So, like, if I'm around other people, whatever they're playing, it might not be something I like, but I can deal with it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and it's also, if I'm able to see, there's been back in the day, when you go to see, I'd go see and I'd see live bands that weren't necessarily a type of music I liked, but if they were really into what they did and you could tell that they were authentic, I would totally dig a live performance by a band that I may not have ever listened to outside of being there at their concert. But I could, as a musician, I can always respect someone that's truly into what they're doing, or an artist, like if they're into it for the love and they really love what they're doing and it's coming and it's pretty good. Like, if it's got a quality to it, I can respect that, but oh, I don't know. I ain't been seeing nobody talk about, like, I ain't paid attention to the solar flare thing. Has that been going on this week? Because I wonder if that's why the other day yesterday, that lady that I ran into, Brenda, she was asking me yesterday when we was outside the pharmacy, she's like, can you feel the vibrations of the earth? And I was like, I was trying to feel out what she was meaning because I know what she meant, but I didn't know she meant like she was literally thinking she felt a vibration coming through her feet right then, or that she can feel the energies being different. And now that you're mentioning solar flares, that would it. I'm not saying you can believe what you want, but I think everything works together to influence other things. You know, like even the smallest of thing in the universe has some influence on everything else. It's like, that's what I was saying. As I feel now that you're bringing that up, and if I missed it, I might have seen it in passing, like on YouTube, someone talk about it, but I haven't been paying attention. I can't consciously say that this week I saw anybody talking about it. Usually when I'm on X, there's usually posts about it, but you know, I've been trying to be more in. I've been trying to stay more like, you know, either making videos or I've been out walking to town or until like the evening and stuff. So I just might have missed it, but that I think might have to do with the way I've been feeling too lately, because it's just kind of the energy's been weird to me. Yeah, okay. So you know what she's talking about too. Well, I mean, I know what about solar flares. It's just I haven't been paying attention, and but it was weird because yesterday when she asked me about if I was feeling something in the earth, and I said, well, I always kind of feel different energies when things shift, and sometimes I don't always necessarily. I'm not always conscious of it until after the fact. For instance, like now. Something's been a little off, you know, but I've been having ever since the past couple of weeks have been all on the upswing, and especially the past week, going back all the way to the Sunday before this past Sunday, starting on that Sunday when I went to town that day and got dog food and everything, till all last week leading up to today. I got to say that each day progressively has improved. And, you know, yeah, you know, well, getting outside earlier was really nice. I went down for a walk, and then it is nice and sunny now again outside. So I was kind of frustrated because, like, I wish if I was going to do what I went over to the stop sign and had my sign on. I couldn't stand there no longer than 5 minutes. I was like, screw this. I went back to the trailer. So I'm going to go do a live. Turned on the hotspot, got on here. I was like, let's see who shows up. That'll help me deal with the things that I'm feeling. But yeah, I think sometimes, like in my past, I used to deal with having large periods of, like, the way that I would deal with anxiousness or boredom was, being lit, like, and that's not all. I think some of my anxiousness is coming from, like, because it's much easier to just drown out that feeling that you're feeling than it is to, like, deal with it, like I'm having to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm in a sober state of mind, so, like, I'm not sitting here, like, with a bottle trying to lull myself so that I don't feel the anxiousness or the uncomfortable feelings I might be not able to describe. So, like, when I'm dealing with it, as I'm dealing with it, like, once you get past a few, like, it'll all clear up. Oh, yeah. Oh, you talking about for the water? I've even done that with the sun also in the day before, but I've in the moon. Yeah, that's cool. I'm just trying. Like I was realizing y'all had this whole conversation going on, and I was like talking my ear off. Okay, cool. Y'all are like you're talking some good stuff there. I largely only drink water. I mix. I usually use like an artificial sweetener, and then I put a little apple cider vinegar and lemon juice in my daily water. Well, because oh yeah, sun tea was always good. I tell you what's real good too is we used to get sumac. I know there's a poisonous sumac, but you know what I'm talking about. There's a certain sumac you can make tea out of. The real red berries. It's real good for you too. Yeah, did you see that? Well, I'm grateful for. I'm grateful to be here. Just to be breathing. Whether I'm not, regardless of the anxiety and stuff is just a symptom, but I'm still grateful. So like it's like this morning, like as I continuously say thanks every morning when I get up and then throughout the day, like I've just been continuously giving thanks today. And then even though I've been a little weird, like sometimes it's just me, I have to slow down and realize I don't have to have a plan for every single thing. I don't have to be trying to figure it all out. And when I try to step back and I allow what guides me, I wait for what guides me to push me or nudge me in what direction I need to go for the rest of the day. I live in Alabama. And here's somebody I don't recognize, and if I don't know if they're saying F you, if that's supposed to be like fuck you or whatever, but Jalaya Robertson, I see that. I don't recognize. I'm just making sure we're being respectful. I don't know what that's supposed to mean, if that's supposed to, but I can take a joke too, because if you're saying F you, that's hopefully it's in jest, like F you. Because, like growing up, we used to be hard on me. Like when I was in a band and stuff, all the people we hung out with, and we all cut up, made fun of each other, called it, it was like, if you weren't getting picked on, then you probably should worry. Like I remember people would pick on me more if I let it bother me too. And that's the key. You know what I mean? Like my friends and stuff like that I would be around, especially the older ones, and they'd be nitpicking at me, and I'd be like been out of shape, and they're like, if we didn't like you, we wouldn't pick on you. And but what I'm saying is there's a fine line, especially if you don't know people. But I just okay, you're trying to spell the name of the Dogecoin song. Let's see. I'm hoping now it's not a guarantee. I may get paid tomorrow, like I think I mentioned. What I'm saying is I've got an email and it's predicting that I'll get paid tomorrow because the first falls on, is it Saturday or Sunday? Anyway, the first falls where it pushes the pay date back. Most people, like technically I'm supposed to get paid on the 3rd, but the government sends both the 1st and 3rd out at the same time to a bank so that they can deposit it. Then it's up to the bank if the bank decides to make you wait to the actual day or free up the funds earlier. And so the card I use as soon as they're credited it, they credit it to my account. So they're just basing it on how it came last. So if it was supposed to hit on a Friday, that means it'll go 2 days before the Friday, which would be tomorrow. No, I'm using a Varo. I do have Cash App. Yeah, I have Cash App. I'm not using a Cash App card. I have a Varo. It's like an online bank is what I'm using. I do have Cash App. Hold on a minute. I'm not sure why you're asking, but that reminds me. I had put it in here like because I'm in here in my home chat. Isn't that kind of funny, guys? Look, there's Grey Cloud's thoughts. Anyway, look, watch this. Oh, wait, I was about to put Grey Cloud's thoughts. Well, I mean, I was thinking, I don't know if you were asking if, I don't know if you were asking if I had Cash App because I was talking about how I get it sooner. I don't know if the Cash App card does that or not. I don't think it is the Cash, because all a Cash App is so people can send you and you get the card. So anytime you can put your own money on it. I was thinking you were talking about, what's the other? There's so many different cards like I've got. There's Chime, which is it's basically the same type of thing. Like if you have Chime, you can get your check up to a few days early too. But I've been with Varo for, I don't know, quite a few years. Okay. Well, I mean, that's it if you want to, because have y'all been down today or doing today? Ed, if you did send something, it would be greatly appreciated. And if you ever needed it to, if you ever needed the favor returned, and I have it, all you'd have to do is hit me up. You know what? I would say, when I went on my walk earlier, and I was listening, there were certain songs hitting in my headphones. I wasn't necessarily sad, but I was crying. Ed, I am jealous. I was talking to Brenda yesterday, the lady that I ended up hanging out with for a little while yesterday that had met me a couple of weeks ago, because I'd walked into town. She saw me. She remembered me from when she met me when I first went over to the other town a few weeks ago. She was at the laundromat. I went in and used the bathroom, and she had introduced herself and thought I needed a ride, but I just got into town and I was trying to kill a few hours that day. I wasn't broke. So I was like, I had money if I wanted to go eat. I had money to go in a store and look around, or if I needed anything before I left town. Point being is she took me to a graveyard to show me some of her family plots and the people and telling me about her family history. I looked down, there was a mushroom there, and I went looking at it, and Brenda said, "Oh, that ain't psilocybin kind." And I was like, well, and then because she's older and everything, but she done been giving me a little bit of background history about herself. And so I said, I was talking about how, I have looked here and there in my life trying to find them in the wild, but I've never extensively done it long enough to really. Now I've done the research. I've watched videos, seen what to look for, because in certain areas, depending on what area you live in, you can't find them. I've always been interested in trying to, grow them, which anybody I've ever known to grow them talks about how if you've never grown them and you first start, it takes a little bit of trial and error, because, it's everything's got to be so sterile and stuff. So yeah, because smoke green every day. Yeah. Okay. So these are some you found yourself? I know where I live here in Alabama, in this area, Well, like I know there's some probably around at different times. Like right now, well, it's almost about to be, but I know that we were just in a period where you could have found them. Might still be able to. Well, I mean, there was something in the graveyard yesterday, but I've just not got out there and like. I was telling Brenda yesterday. I'd learned. I'd seen there was this one guy that I used to watch on YouTube. He was finding them. He finds them a lot in actual just wooded like wood chips, like where like someone's done landscaping. He was finding them pop up a certain type of I don't know which exact type it was, but he was showing on the video, and he was saying they love wood chips, and it was like in an apartment complex this dude was in. This was in North Carolina where that's cool though. Okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, there's many different ones we can find in the wild from what I understand, but you just have to know what you got to look for. What is it? Liberty caps, and there's several different other types. The last time I've ate mushrooms, I was thinking, I think I told Brenda yesterday. I believe the last time I really had some good mushrooms was in Tennessee, and that was probably in 2010. At my friend Carl's. He throws a bit right before Bonnaroo. Carl always throws what they call Barnaroo, and they have a big 3-day party, or it starts on Friday. It's a Friday, Saturday night party. You can camp on the property if you want and be there till Sunday. But Friday night and Saturday night, you'll have bands playing, kegger, hundreds of people show up. And of course, you'll have, depending on what's floating around, but I remember that time they were going for $50 for an eighth, which to me seemed expensive. But that eighth was very well. I ended up spending. I think I got 2/8 over the weekend, but it was cool. The guy that was selling them, he had an actual live parrot named Valentine, and I remember in Carl's kitchen, his son and some people were making up a tea out of the mushrooms they had bought. And I'm like, there's mushrooms. Oh, where do I get it? Where can I get some? And they're like, so-and-so, I don't remember the dude's name, but they're like, the guy with the parrot. And I thought they were bullshit. You know what I mean? I thought they were BSing me. I thought, man, these guys, they must be joking. And lo and behold, I go out. I'm thinking they're BSing me, but I go out through the party looking around thinking, what are they? I'm not thinking even that. I'm not realizing they're really being serious. And the guy's got a parrot, like an actual live parrot that he walks around with on his shoulder like a pirate named Valentine. And it was really cool. But I did so many other things that weekend. I remember that. I think that's the weekend I ended up. No, that was even further years ago. There was one time way before 2010, or probably in 2008 or 9. I can't remember when it was. Another one of Carl's parties, and I remember. I think it was that Sunday morning. Someone having to smack me like they had found me face down, like we were next to the fire. It was daylight coming up, but they had found me with my face pressed down on the ashes, kind of, because my face kind of got burnt. And they said I was cold to the touch, and they had to slap me and stuff. I'd done. I'm not saying any of this stuff to be bragging. I'm not recommending you go and do any of the things that I've done in my life. I've done some when it came to substances, I was always mixing and not thinking about the amount of what I was putting in. The more, the better, and I've learned later, like I have learned the meaning of less is more sometimes. Same with like if I'm smoking pot, the more I'm consuming it throughout the day, the less effective it is. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of like I'm long overdue for giving myself a break, but we're coming up on December, and December 30th is my birthday. So I'm probably, like I'm thinking about, like, I don't know, some people down on it, but I'm thinking about, I haven't had, it's been several years since I've had the actual, LSD, and, but I do dabble with morning glory seeds or like Hawaiian rosewood. I'm not trying to say that it's far a little bit less effective, but if you know how to extract the LSA and everything, you can have somewhat of a pleasant psychedelic experience. At least I do. And then if I order enough of the seeds, I can kind of make it about as potent as I want. Now, last summer I was getting the seeds and I was making up tincture of myself. I'd grind them up. So like I was doing a cold water extract, and let me say this just in case YouTube's listening. This is all educational, right? I'm just talking about. I'm not suggesting that anybody be looking into any of this. But yeah. So I've been thinking about whether I'm going to order me a few seeds to dabble with, because it's been, I don't know the last time that I had any. It's been it's probably been last year. It might have been earlier this year. I think I had some earlier this year, but I just, like back in the summer I did. But last year I was perfecting it because I hadn't done it in so long. I was experimenting with getting the full potential out of what. Of course, you want to try to end up with as much just liquid without the seed matter, because you put a bunch of that all that seed matter can make you kind of nauseous and sick feeling. Which I've got kind of an iron stomach though. Here's old Astro here. What's up, Astro? Do you need to go out for a minute? Y'all give me a second. Let me see if this dog's wanting out or something. Come on, buddy. Let's see if y'all want out. Y'all want out for a minute? Is that what you want? Are you trying to go out? Let me see. You want to go out? There's the door open if y'all want to go out. I gotta go back to live for a minute. Oh, okay, I'm back. Oh, I hope I'm not offending anybody. I don't think. How could I offend someone that's talking about taking shrooms? I don't think I could be offending you mentioning, L, and then talking about that I do know how to, get the LS. Now I've never done a full extraction with what do they call it, with the naphtha or something like that. I think it's like it's a solvent that you can use and refine it. I could break it down to the point where I go through, I think you have to do it. You soak it and rubbing out you have to have a high percentage rubbing alcohol. You soak the seeds in that for so many days, and then you transfer that into something else, and then you do it anyway, I've researched it, watched plenty of people do it on video, and I just never went through, because if I can take it and get a pretty good feeling out of what I do with the water, then that's what I'm going to do, because it's a little longer process if I was to do it the way I was talking about. It's a matter of days, because you're going to want to let it sit for so many days in the rubbing alcohol. Then you're going to do another thing with the other stuff, and then eventually, so it's I think probably about a week-long process almost or something. But you're probably going to come out with the most, it's going to be probably the most potent, the most clean, but
You know what, guys? I really appreciate you guys being here. I can't, ask for better people. We're going on a little over an hour, and I don't really have a time limit. I wish I had more on my hotspot right now. When I got on here, I only had 2.3 something gigabytes left, and then at an hour, that means I've ate up I probably have about a gigabyte of hotspot left, so I still have plenty of time to run here. But so I'm just gonna kind of, I guess what I'm saying is I'm gonna be on here a little bit longer. I'm trying to be mindful to myself. I'm hoping now, whether that be tomorrow, like if I don't get paid tomorrow, it more likely it'll be Friday, and then I'm hoping I can swing getting a new Motorola phone that I like. Either this ain't the Motorola. I'm on the Motorola right now with my live stream. This is a Nokia. I'm hoping, because the Motorola I'm using right now is a Boost, and for me to make it into my to put it on Verizon, then I have to contact Boost and have them unlock it or some crap, and that just seems like a pain in the butt. Plus, it's got a cracked screen. I can get another model of this phone, I think, for like $50 or $60, and I'm hoping I'm going to try to squeeze it in there and get it, because once I get that, when I re-up my total Verizon plan, which is unlimited data, I won't be having to do what I've been doing here lately. Turning on the hotspot, turning this phone on, and doing it that way. I'll be able to be back to where any time of day that I want to, I can just say, hey, I'm going to go live. Boom. I could be out in town. That's what excites me too, because what I'm wanting to do is, once I get going like that again, is some of the days that I take off to town walking, I'm going to take, there may be a day that I'm decide, I'll be out in town having a little bit of fun or whatever. It's a nice day. Set up the phone, go live, see if anybody comes in there. I might be wandering around town talking to you guys, and I think that would be fun, and I've been trying not to be discouraged or beat myself up, because over the past several years, I have a lot of good plans and ideas that I would like to move forward doing here. Like for the past couple of years, I've wanted to revamp an idea that I've had for a website for the longest. Used to have a website called enlightenedfrequency.com, and the domain name's still available. And I've thought about what I eventually want to do. And anybody that's watched the channel for long enough knows that I've talked about it. I thought by the end of this year, I was going to have at least the website, the domain bought, and maybe working on like some sort of stuff. But life happens. And so those are things that will happen when they happen. And if they don't, they don't. I'm just going to be grateful for what I have. I'm trying to just be grateful with the simplest of what is, so, and like asking me what I'm thankful for, I'm just thankful that I'm here. I'm thankful that there is anybody that is even interested in listening to what I have to say or communicate with me. I wish I'd had some kind of big, deep, like as we go along, if I'm able to swing getting another, because like I got to pay some on my garbage this month too. I've got to pay. I haven't paid on the garbage fee in the past few, so like I'm overdue. But they let you go to a certain point, so I'm gonna try to. I'll probably at least have to pay like I think I owe $100 and something, but I'm gonna see if I can just pay the 50 or 60, like half of it, and then try to completely zero it out at the beginning of the year. Now, if I just get my stuff together and go up there to well, the chat just disappeared on me. I don't know what's going on there. So we may be entering into some kind of technical difficulty here again. I don't know. That's weird. The chat just went completely. Let's see if we can do this.
Okay, well, for some reason, I'm not seeing the chat anymore on this device. It's still over here. But if you guys, what I'm going to do is I'm going to end it. So I think we've had a good run. I hope y'all are okay with me ending it now. Oh, the last cracker. Okay. Sorry, dude. I'm sorry. I'm about to get off of here, man. Last cracker. I'm not trying to. I hate that I'm just now. There's something weird going on where I can't see my chat on the main device that I'm streaming on, but I'm in my own chat. Guys, the last cracker is someone that is. I've known him for a few years now, and I haven't talked to him in a while. I've been wondering where he's at. Now I'm not seeing any of you guys' chat at all. It's all completely just gone. So what I'm going to do is I am going to wrap this up. And last cracker, if you're still there, I am really not even sure why this is. Okay, there it is. Oh, okay. You're back on Gab. Okay, I haven't ended yet. Hit me up on Gab if you can, or is it still under the same account, or did you have to recreate a new account? I tried texting you a long time back, and I don't know if you ever got it. And I can see, it's weird. I can't see the chat still on the main device that I'm streaming from. But anyway, what I'm saying, if you're there, last cracker, is if you got that last text that I sent months and months ago, I didn't mean any disrespect on it. New number, old account. Okay. Well, then you might have not even got the text, but I had texted you and I thought you were ignoring me and stuff. And I was like, I don't have the old number anymore. I don't have a number for you in there. So I'll get with you, or you get with me on Gab, because I am still going on Gab. And now that you're back on there, you can probably see that I do try to. I'm still sharing some in the coffee shop. I don't share as much there because it seems like there's only me and a couple other people sharing over there now. But I still try to stop in there. And I love you, brother. I really do. You know that. We've always had a good, deep connection, man. You guys, the last cracker, like I said, me and him met on Gab years back, about 4 years ago, and even got to meet up one time. And, he's like a brother to me, or I feel like. I hope he don't mind me saying that. And but we're all family here. Cracker, everybody's been like having a good time here. I'm going to get off here, though, you guys. I've been here at an hour and 18, so I have just a little bit of a hot spot left, and hopefully I'll get a better device tomorrow or by the end of the week, and I'll be able to go live just about anytime I want without having to turn on a hotspot. So I want to say it's been awesome. Thanks for being here, and until next time. Oh, and Ed, if you're still there, Ed, if you're still there, well, I guess I'll know if you send something, I'll know, or whenever it is you do, like if you're thinking that I might not be aware of it, I'd say just give me like maybe comment in a video if you're thinking that I don't know that you sent something. You know what I'm talking about? You'd ask about my Cash App. So if you send anything and I'm not aware of it, you might go in a video or a comment section and be like, hey, have you checked your Cash App or something? I don't know. But anyway, I wasn't asking anybody or anything, and I appreciate you asking me. And like I said, if you do help me out at all, ever, and you ever need any kind of help yourself in return later down the road, I might not always be able to do it, but there's been plenty of times that when I'm to the good, and if someone catches me while I'm still like on the top, you know what I mean? Like when I get paid every month, if people hit me up, like if people I know
and care about really need something, I help them out. Sometimes it bites me in the ass, but that doesn't stop me from being the person I am. So y'all, I'm going to get off here, and I love you. Until next time, Mr. Gray Cloud, sage of the eternal moment, this moment that we have here, the only moment. Ditto.